Hey everyone, how are you? Welcome to the Big Agent Meeting International. I'm your host, Felix Bravo, Vice President of International Growth here at EXP. And this show, we go over all things international, what's going on, a little spotlight every single show into one of our countries, who's our country leader, what are our agents there doing, giving you a little bit of behind the scenes of what's going on. This is probably one of my favorite things that I get to do as being a part of EXP, because I get to speak to these agents and speak to these country leaders every day. I get to travel the world and meet them and go to events with them and see what they're doing. And I love that I have this platform for all of our agents and for all of our staff to really get out there and showcase really the magic that they're doing behind the scenes, because I think so many times we miss that. But today we have an amazing show. I'm excited to have a spotlight on the Dominican Republic. We have our amazing country leader, Pedro Reyes Castillo, who I've spent quite a lot of time with and met some of his agents. And we also have Miss Odile Horjus, and hopefully I pronounced that correctly, one of our amazing agents in the Dominican Republic. And today we're taking a big deep dive into the world of bachata, into the Dominican Republic. So without further ado, let's have Pedro Reyes come up, our country leader for Dominican Republic.
Woo! Here we go, my brother. It's an honor. It's an honor, Jefe.
Of course. It's an honor to have you here. I love that you jumped in and you were your own hype man. That's the one thing. You never need anybody to motivate you or get you excited. You're always you're that motivator, and I love
we have motivation, and you give us motivation every time we go online. But having the opportunity of connecting, I always have my hype man on my back.
Amazing. Well, listen, Pedro, you and I, how long have you been at EXP now as country leader? I think it's 7 or 8 months.
As country leader, 8 months. As EXP agent, it will be 1 year and 2 months.
Amazing. Well, I think you and I actually joined the international team around the same time. We've gotten to spend some time together in person at EXPCon. I've also gotten to go to Santo Domingo and spend some time, not just with you, but with the amazing agents we had there, with our AAC, with our top producers. And I was blown away by the energy that the agents had in the Dominican Republic, by the excitement they had for what was happening for the future. And I really, really wanted to make sure that we had an opportunity on the show to kind of bring a little spotlight. So, Pedro, you're a man who needs no introduction, because you kind of introduce yourself no matter where we go. And I see you all over social media, which I love to see. I love all the content you put out. But for those of us who are just meeting you for the first time, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, your background in real estate, how you ended up as country leader for EXP Dominican Republic?
Okay. So I've been in the business mostly for about 22 years. My background is a lawyer. So here in the Dominican Republic, mostly you get introduced to real estate via the legal process. So my master's is in real estate law and then the real estate transaction. And as I was going through the process of being a lawyer and having the capacity of speaking English, I got brought up into a TV show, and that TV show was airing in New York. So that got me to the point to create that persona, which is Mr. Realty at this moment, and just be able to go there and have the connection with the Dominicans in New York and all over the place. And that eventually got me to the point of doing a little bit more of the combination of doing the legal process of real estate from the States, like bringing it here and try to translate it. So that way, anyone from expats that live here to anyone that's looking for the investment, it won't be a shock, because it's really different. The how we do business in real estate can make you feel a little bit uncomfortable until you have someone on the ground. And I became that persona. And still to today, what we do is we bring anyone that's not local to understand the process, feel at ease, and then go proceed with the payments and the process. So that's been the year. And about a year ago, I was brought up to EXP. Actually, I was known to EXP a few years back, but then I had a contract with another company. And one of our great friends, which is Eli Ortiz, is the country leader for Puerto Rico, is a good friend. We came from that company, and he was always on my back, asking me, you need to find out what EXP, we need to bring EXP to DR. And I got the call, and it was no-brainer. It was not a no-brainer. All that was presented to me, all the team, and I'm so excited for all the year that we have been going. And hopefully for 2025, as you had mentioned, there's no limit at what EXP can do, and I'm proud to be part of it.
Amazing. Mr. Realty. I remember seeing that trademark at the beginning, and I love it. So you've been here 8 months now as country leader, right? It's such a different world when you step in from being an agent. Almost, I think every single country leader at EXP and a vast majority of the leadership team at EXP comes from having been a realtor or a real estate agent or helped somebody sell homes or purchase homes. And you touched on it a little bit earlier, right? It's you need somebody boots on the ground because it tends to be the largest purchase somebody ever makes, the most emotional purchase somebody ever makes in their entire life. And we get the opportunity to walk somebody through that, but get to be sort of that anchor and that expert in our field to help them ensure that they're making the right decisions and go through the process correctly. Now you're in a different side of things. Now you're helping those who are helping those purchase homes. And that's another world, as you know. So tell me, you've gotten to spend a lot of time now with the Dominican Republic agents. I've seen you in action with them. They very clearly respect you and are enjoying the changes that have happened in Dominican Republic over the last 8 months under your leadership. Tell me a little bit about what you see from our agents in Dominican Republic at EXP that makes them different, that makes it unique from some of the other brands that exist in DR.
Like being able to know so many other brands, I believe that the desire for every single agent to be part of that process. They want you to be secure. They're knowledgeable to give you the right directions. And as soon as I step in, I know, and they pointed out, like, we feel comfortable because now we have someone that understands what we go through as Dominicans in real estate. And that way we can translate to that. So we're different. We're a big family. And it's not just like a cliche. It is. We tend to help each other. We feel like if someone's doing something that's correctly and you have a capper, that capper will be open to have the conversation with the other agents and let them know this worked for me. And you saw it, how we go into it with really passion. It's the same for anything in the Dominican Republic. When it comes to real estate, we are aware, we are kind, and we know exactly that this may be the biggest purchase, even for someone local and someone that's thinking about relocation or just investment. They want to feel trusted. And I believe that we have done that in this 8 years and 8 months, and we're looking forward to another wonderful year in 2025.
Amazing. Well, hopefully we'll be having this conversation 8 years from now, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
About everything we've done. But I think what's really unique about the Dominican Republic market is how many external people, so people outside of the Dominican Republic, come in to purchase, whether it's vacation homes, second homes, relocation. And
when we started, Felix, when real estate started, it was a connection with tourism. So at first it was just like, come over on the cruise, come over on the plane and see. But then those people started noticing that this is a good place. It's stable. The dollar goes a long way, and it's very structured. So I feel comfortable in investment. Now you see more people investing. Like during pandemic, we had the biggest sales through the roof when it comes to us in EXP as well. And there's a lot of people that never knew and never set foot on DR, and they were so comfortable in doing them and still going out. Now we see more investment rather than second home. So like they have the second home already, but now they're investing. So that's a different format that's happening throughout 2024, and we'll see it throughout 2025 as well.
And one of the differences, I think, for EXP is not only are we the largest independent brokerage in the U.S., we're the largest independent brokerage in the world, and that offers an opportunity. And we're on the Big Asia Meeting International show right now, right? So we're talking about how our agents in a market like Dominican Republic that is so international, that does so much external business, how do our agents in Dominican Republic, because I got to see a lot of them work in the new development space and they sell expats, how has EXP helped them, or what are you guys doing to attract some of these international buyers? Do you guys work a lot with some of our US agents? Is that an opportunity for those who join EXP Dominican Republic? Talk to me a little bit about that.
It's possible for most, like we have a lot of dual agency, a lot of agents that have noticed that we need to be aware Glenn has been a flag barrier of that. You need to watch out what international is going as you as well. So they, after ESP come, we have had at least here in Punta Cana more than 8 to 7 agents that had come just to confirm and just to know. And I've been graciously going with them to anything they need to do. But as well, now they see more the possibility of growing, and our agents as well. Because back in the day, and I'll say back in the day before I started working, having this position, it was mostly the connection with Miami and Florida, and New York. But now we see agents from Utah. Now we see agents from Canada. Now we see agents from France. Like busting the phones, like I want to know, or I have a Dominican that has a property, or I have a neighbor that has a property in Punta Cana he needs to sell, or he has a daughter and needs to relocate. So that was happening a lot. On more awareness of what is happening, Punta Cana has been so as basically the location. Most people understand Punta Cana more than they say Dominican Republic to itself, but now it's completely different. Now you see Terrenas, now you see Puerto Plata, the north and the east, and boy, it's so wonderful to be in this side to see how fast it's growing and what the agents are going to be receiving into 2025. It's going to be grand.
No doubt, and it's a beautiful country, known for so much of its tourism, right? But also, I think that has even shifted, as you said, into other investment opportunities now. Puerto Plata and a couple other places you mentioned, I know, have gotten really big in the golf space, and that's brought a whole
medical. A lot of people come here to do their surgeries. A lot of people come to do dental, and now we see in dental office is in the States they're doing small procedures for those expats that are here, so they can use their insurance that they have in the state. They can use it here. So now we have tourism, and as well as evergreen and all the stuff that's going on. It's ever changing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And so, look, you keep saying going into 2025, you almost reminded me. We have so much going on in international. I forgot that a whole new year has now passed. I don't know if this is the first show of the year. I think it's the second. But regardless, while I have you, last question, what is the thing you're most excited about for EXP Dominican Republic in 2025?
The fact that now we are on the eye of the hurricane, if you will. There's so many people, so many agents that are now looking to do business with us, and being able to be an ESP.com and feeling it like side by side. We were the most best stand through the ESP.com. I believe that behind us was luxury, but we are so much ready for what is coming. And from my point of view, like you said it, and I'm seeing the pipeline, boy, there's endless possibilities of what we can do. So I'm honored to be part of the growth. And mi jefe, you're my jefe. Let's go.
Amazing. Well, listen, if anybody watching is interested in EXP Dominican Republic, please reach out to Pedro, Mr. Realty. Pedro, thank you so much for being here. I will see you. I'll probably see you tomorrow, right? I see you every single day.
Yes, sir.
I'll see you soon. Thanks, Pedro. Of course.
Gracias.
Gracias. Love having Pedro here. His energy is always unmatched. If you haven't had an opportunity to just message him, whether it's about Dominican Republic or you just want to speak real estate in general, that man is a wealth of knowledge. He is extremely welcoming, extremely friendly. So please reach out to him. And now we get to see the other side, right? So you saw the leadership component of EXP. You see who are the people who are working every single day to help our agents. And now we get to actually see one of those agents and see who's coming on board. So we have Ms. Odile from EXP Dominican Republic. She has an amazing story. I'm excited I was doing my research, right? And I saw a couple things. She's naturally born in the Netherlands. She speaks 5 languages. She's got all these amazing things. So Odile, why don't you come on board?
Felix, how are you doing? Welcome from Puerto Plata.
From Puerto Plata. I've heard I have to go there. I've heard it's extremely nice.
You better come. Yes.
Yeah, I will coincidentally be in Puerto Plata. It'll be for business, I promise, but I'll make it out there at some point.
We make sure you feel happy here because the Dominican Republic is not just core business. It's all about the beautiful lifestyle. I call it, did you have your Caribbean vitamins today?
Yeah. Well, listen, Odile, you have an awesome story. And one of the things that agents especially in this new digital world with Instagram and social media, where now you have to get out there and you have to have a personal brand. So many people are so scared to share what their personal brand is. And one of the things I really loved about you and getting to look into your business a little bit more is how much you've leaned to some of your previous experiences and being a chef and all these things that you've incorporated into your business that makes you sort of unique. And that's why people probably a big part of the reason they want to work with you. So Odile, why don't you tell us a little bit about how long have you been with EXP? How long have you been an agent in the Dominican Republic? How did somebody from the Netherlands end up getting their daily dose of Caribbean vitamins every day? Give us a little bit about you.
Well, I was working as a multilingual guide in Amsterdam on the buses, but my Spanish was terrible. So I decided in 1991 to come to the Dominican Republic to improve my Spanish, because over here at that time, tourism started. I fell in love with the country. Long story short, I came back, stayed, lived here. And yes, it has been 30 years, although I went back after my son was born. He's half Dominican, half Dutch, and I brought him to Europe, but I miss the country every single day because there's something special about this place. I love the country, and I keep on coming back. So I decided when my son was 13 years old, we're going to come back, and this is it. I used to work in tourism, hotel business, and aviation. So a friend of mine mentioned, why don't you start working in real estate as a new career, because your background will be a big help. And actually, she was right when I started to analyze this, because of the fact that we do have specifically on the North Coast many, many different nationalities. These people are at this moment ready to sell their properties, and they love to speak their own mother tongue, because their dream house, for whatever reason, they have to give it up to move back to where they came from. When I can speak with them in their own mother tongue, they feel more comfortable, which makes that I can have, because of that, a lot of different connections and a lot of different listings. This country works totally different with licensing, which we don't have, with basically non-exclusive listings all over the place. And for that reason, it's sometimes very difficult to find your tribe, with who you find yourself comfortable with, but who is also the country is sometimes chaotic. And you need to make sure that the people behind you from your company are forming a team which will exude a certain type of energy as a brand. And I feel, after being with two different international companies, that EXP is finally the brand that I found after working for 7 years on and off in real estate. This feels really like the brand that I feel comfortable with, because every single agent that is working for the brand feels the same. We all have high standards professional-wise. We have values as human beings. We want the best for our buyers. We all understand that many people come from abroad and they don't speak the language or they don't understand the culture. So we literally take our clients by the hand and take care of everything. We go with them opening up bank accounts. We will make sure that they get the best lawyer there is to do their closings. So there is a lot involved in what we have to take care of, because these people are all a little bit lost. And we want to make sure that they feel comfortable and feel welcomed to a new country.
So Odile, you touched on a lot of amazing points there. You're clearly quite the salesperson. I want to take a step back, because there's something that a lot of agents struggle with. And real estate a lot of times it was not for me, but for the majority, I think, of our industry, it's usually a second or third career. It's not the first thing you do, right? It's like you have this experience. For you, it was all these different things, being a local guide, being a chef, and then you get into real estate. And I think where people don't typically naturally get to the conclusion is you should tie in your experiences from your past careers into your real estate business. And so one of the things I loved about you is that you were, and I want you to talk to us a little bit more about it, but you were the finalist on Dominican Master Chef, and you cooked on TV shows, and now because of that, you do meals and dinners with your clients. So tell me a little bit about, first of all, how did you get into the chef world, and then how did you translate that into real estate?
Exactly. So I think that let me start with the MasterChef part first, because it's a fun story, actually. I just love to cook and I love colors. So a friend of mine, a Dominican friend, sent me a message and said, we're going to have the very first episode of the Dominican MasterChef in the country. And if you don't get yourself involved, I will never speak to you again. So I loaded up a video. I wasn't aware what to do with Instagram, but I made it happen. And I was invited to come over. And from the 3,700 participants, I was one of the 18 finalists, made it to all the shows, became overnight a public figure in the country. And it was crazy because we went to do meet and greets with our fans. And I was invited to a local TV show, a Dominican TV show, which was also broadcasted for Dominicans in the United States. And I would do live TV cooking shows. So then during the pandemic, we had to close down the studio. So I was actually cooking from this patio that you see right here. And we tried to work that out. And then I got some invitations from some agencies in the capital if I wanted to do auditions for certain movies. And before I knew it, I was casted for a movie with Jennifer Lopez that was all filmed here on the North Coast. And I was playing the sister of Jennifer Coolidge, who, when the movie came out, just won one of her awards. So it became a huge thing. And I may call myself now an accredited actress. So I always try to look at sales as we need to put our ego aside. We are not salespeople. And if the sale is not going through, basically it doesn't have anything to do with us. Or we make such a drama and we are so annoying to our clients. In that case, yes, it might be a failure. But most of the time, we have to understand we're trying to bring the client together with his dream property. So what I started to realize when I was analyzing, am I going to be a salesperson? Because I don't see myself as sales. I decided you have to see yourself as a brand. We are all part of a business. We are all part of a brand. But in the meanwhile, we have to look at ourselves as a business. So what is it that I can show to my clients? I can show that I've been working in tourism. So yes, I do know the country very well. So if you want to invest, I can really tell you where to go and where not to go in case you want to open up an Airbnb. Sorry, my dog is being a little bit attention-seeking. I'm sitting here in the garden of my home. I wanted to give everybody the real Dominican life. So then I also think that because of the fact, in my case, that I've been working so long in the hotel business and now I got exposure with MasterChef, I do get a lot of companies that are asking me to be advisors. So I make business plans for them. I even help them with interior design. But I can help all my clients that come in the country and have a new apartment or want to change their furniture and help them with that. So everybody should look at themselves and say, what are my strong points and how can I translate this to help my clients or to make them feel more comfortable? There will always be a certain connection. I think the biggest thing is to really, and it sounds a little bit like like stalker, but you have to creep into the brains of your clients. You have to listen. Although I might speak a lot, but I listen all the time to all the information. What is their favorite color? What are their hobbies? Do they have children? And in that way, you can really connect your client with the right person. And then maybe you have been working as a school teacher, so you know about all the school districts. Maybe you have been working as a truck driver. You've been all around and you can use that. You can say, I've been all around the United States, but this place, it's just thinking in a smart way and thinking a little bit further down the road than just saying, I'm an agent and I sell. That's the way that I look at my company and in my business. Yeah.
Amazing. So you found out what your personal brand is, what your niche is. You know how to communicate that. Why did you choose EXP, or why have you stayed at EXP that you think has helped you with your personal brand and really connect with your clients?
Well, after working for 2 different companies, I had to give up on my own, basically my own principles, the name, colors, etc., which for me in the Caribbean is very important because I don't look like you're a Latina girl that is going to help you in the Dominican Republic. So I have to be with pineapples in my hands to show, hey, I am Caribbean. You might not see it on the outside, but believe me. So when I am working with a traditional company that has a traditional way of working within a team, I'm from a very modern country, the Netherlands, as you mentioned, and it's very hard for me to all the time work in very aligned with certain rules that don't make sense. If you work in the airlines, you know every single rule makes sense because it's there for security. But I don't believe in living in the Caribbean, living a free-spirited life and needing to follow rules just because somebody tells me they're the boss. I hate that, and it doesn't work for me. Most of the agents working in real estate work because it is a solo job, and you might like to inspire your colleagues, you might have teams, but in the end, you like to work individual because you have certain ideas, certain values, and a style of working. And I didn't want that to be killed, so I needed to find a way not just to work in my own style, but also make sure that the company was helping me to get leads on an international level, etc. I was very lucky that a Canadian agent who lives actually in Virginia and who's very successful, Renee Ruth, that she reached out a few times to me. And the second time she reached out was the perfect time for me to listen to her. She had so many valuable things to tell me about EXP, but I also felt if I'm going to make a change now, it will be either all the way or I'm going to continue by myself. My son, who is by now 21 years old, is partly assisting me and is extremely critical. So he was asking the right questions. For example, everybody, when they hear about the EXP business model, they go like, this is a scam. This is a pyramid scam, you know. So we were asking and asking. And there are certain things that I am really focused on with EXP and that works so much in my favor. There's still so much to get myself involved in and to learn even from all the different systems. But the basic part for me, why I love EXP, is because I can bring my own personality to the table. It's accepted, and everybody is still there to help each other, to reach out for each other. It doesn't matter what background you have. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter what religion you practice or not. If you're male or female, what language you speak, we're all here to make that brand look very good towards all our clients, and it works. It just works because I see it here in my own country, and so far everybody that I've been reaching out to are really wonderful people. I don't know how EXP does it, but I think it's a certain energy, and the sponsors that are reaching out to get agents also have in mind that is the mindset that they want from new people coming into the business. So even with such a huge international business, there is a certain vibe and it's positive, and I love it.
That's amazing. Well, listen, Odile, I thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for sharing why you're at EXP and for doing what you do here. For me, it's really inspiring to hear stories from people who come from different backgrounds. I immigrated to the United States, and so there was that learning curve. And so when I get to hear and see other people doing that, especially as successfully as you are, it's always really inspiring. So I want to thank you for coming on board and sharing your story. Where can people find you? If they want to reach out, ask, learn a little bit more, where can they find you?
My Instagram page is called Colorful Casas. And we will have a YouTube coming up with tropical living, but I am only shooting. And for now, we're cooking in houses that are for sale. And it's going to be great because it is great. And Colorful Casas is my Instagram. And tropical living will be within a month in the air. And everybody from all over the world is welcome in the Dominican Republic. If not on this side of the country, then on the other side, and I will connect you with my colleagues, which are wonderful people. They might not all speak fluent English, but they know how to dance bachata.
There we go.
And
That's
yes,
a requirement,
and
right? It's a requirement.
exactly. And I would love to see all of you in on the north coast of the Dominican Republic. Like I said, I've been working in tourism, so I can help you with setting you up with nice Airbnbs and showing you around town and talk business, of course.
Amazing. Well, Odile, congratulations on all your success. Thank you for sharing your story with us. I can't wait to see you in person, hopefully in Dominican Republic when I'm there in a couple months, and maybe we can go see some of these colorful casas.
Félix, fue un honor. Muchísimas gracias por la invitación y a todos mis latinos, que lo que. Muchos besos y saludos y abrazos y súper bienvenido aquí en la República Dominicana. Soyez bienvenue, herzlich willkommen, and I hope to see all of you very soon.
Amazing. Gracias, Odile. Thank you. That was awesome. What a wonderful Dominican Republic, man. They just carry that energy. And even Odile not being from the Dominican Republic, I love how she was able to bring out that Spanish and the bachata and the culture. So that is what you get at EXP. You get to not connect with local agents and local experts, but we are an international company that communicates with each and every single one of our different countries. And so you get that access to agents who are doing something a little bit different. And if you're interested in not just how to be a top agent in your country, but do you have an opportunity to take advantage of the fact that you're a part of an international brand, a part of a brand, like Odile said, that puts your branding first, your personal branding first. Let EXP be that back end tool for you to better help serve your agents and build a better business for yourself. Thank you, Pedro. Thank you, Odile, for coming on board. Love seeing the Dominican Republic team. Love sharing their story. Thank you guys all for watching. As always, if you could, please take out your phones and scan the QR code. You give us a rating between 1 and 10 if you could, and let us know what you loved or what we could improve on. Your feedback is extremely valuable for us. We do read every single submission, so go ahead and scan the QR code. As always, I am your host, Felix Bravo. Big Agent Meeting International every other Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern. You can find it on all of our socials, but on YouTube, our EXP International YouTube. That's where we post a lot of our content. Thank you guys for coming to the show. I will see you in 2 weeks for the next Big Agent Meeting International. Thank you, everyone.